beautiful day, flat sea, might as well go and have a look. At the very least I can have a look underneath the boat and make sure that, you know, there's no kraken hanging on there. Went under and the prop's loose. Okay, I gotta think about this for a little bit and decide what I'm gonna do. Well, hi everyone and welcome to today's video. If you watched the last episode, you'll probably be aware that I've got myself into a little bit of a pickle. Basically, in case you didn't watch the last one, I went for a bit of a snorkel yesterday and went under the boat to have a look how things are, and the prop is loose. It's basically sliding fore and aft, which means that the nut has come loose, and it means at some point that prop is going to fall off. Now it's one of those awkward things where it could last for hours and hours and be fine. It could come off in 30 seconds after starting the engine. Problem I've got, I mean, it's better that it happened like this, I guess, than it just fell off when I was motoring the other day. I'm currently anchored north of Bute, in a nice little anchorage. I'm relatively safe and secure here, but I need to get somewhere essentially where I can get the boat lifted out and I can get it sorted. There is a boatyard about half an hour from here called Tiana Brewing. I spoke to them, they're just chock-a-block and too busy, and they reckon can't help me for about a month, so that's not much use. I spoke to Port Bannatyne, which is a couple of hours the other way. It's about 8 miles, something like that. They can get me in. They've been really friendly and helpful. It's Saturday today. They're obviously not working till Monday, but on Monday they can lift me out. They've got mechanics there and engineers there who can look at the prop and get it sorted properly, hopefully, and yeah, get me back in the water and hopefully solve it. A few pounds, as in English pounds, lighter, but at least I can continue with my trip. The problem I've got though is I got to get down to there, and obviously I would like to not use the engine at all, if at all possible, or at least as little as possible. Obviously if I lose the prop then it's going to get a lot more expensive, but also I could be in real big trouble if I find myself in an awkward spot without the prop. So I got to wait for the wind. Now the wind right now is not, there isn't much, and it's in the wrong direction. It's coming right from where I need to go. Monday morning, according to the forecasts, I might get a few hours of wind that's sort of in a helpful direction, but yeah, I mean that's forecasting, so I guess we'll find out. I'm in this real quandary. I sat in my wetsuit because I've been back under today to have a look, and you know, it's theoretically possible that I could tighten it up under the water. Basically there's 2 Allen keys that need to be undone, then there's 2 pins that hold the blades of the folding prop in, which need to be kind of knocked out, and they're not particularly tight. Once they're knocked out, the blades of the prop will come out, and that'll give me access to the nut on the inside, and I can in theory just tighten that nut up and then put it back together. It's difficult to do underwater, obviously. It's about, I guess, a metre underwater, 1.5 meters. You know, I don't have any, I've got my snorkeling gear, but I don't have any diving gear, so I can't stay down there. So my lung capacity gives me about 20 seconds, depending on how much energy I exert on the way down. And the problem is that, you know, once I start down the road of taking it to pieces, I've got no choice but to go all the way. You know, if I take it apart and don't put it back together, then I'm screwed. And if I drop anything, I'm screwed, because they're all very specialist parts. I've no way I could replace or repair anything. So yeah, it's a real gamble. and I don't have the confidence that I can do it. I went on, so I've been under. I put like a bucket under it in case I drop anything. Hopefully it'll sort of catch anything, but it's not perfect. It's kind of awkward. I started undoing one of the Allen keys, and I can do that, but yeah, I just don't have any confidence right now, and I think I'm going to mess it up. So I tightened back up the one that I only undid it like half a turn, but I just made sure I've re-tightened it. I don't think that's not going to be the thing that fails anyway. So yeah, I spent probably half an hour down there messing around and sort of seeing if I could make it work, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to get myself into more trouble. Yeah, so I don't know. I just don't know which way to turn. You know, like I say, I could turn it on. I could go now, motor down to that place, and get there fine, no issues. Tie up, not a problem. Get it pulled out. Equally, I could start the engine and it immediately fall off, which I hope not, because the odds of me being able to get all the way there without any engine is problematic. Now the way I'm going is a pretty straight shot down the East Isles of Bute. There's just one awkward bit just after I set off here. I've got to go through the Burnt Islands, which is basically, you'll have maybe seen it on the last episode I came through it. It's about a 25-metre wide channel between some rocks that I have to go through. I've never sailed through it, I've only ever motored through it. I would like to try to say not use the engine. It's sailable in theory, it's a straight line. I could, you know, if I've got the right wind, I could sail through it. But yeah, I don't know whether, you know, if I sail through it and I screw it up and I crash into the rocks, I'm going to wish I motored. If I motored through it and the prop falls off while I'm in it, I'm going to wish I'd sailed through it. And so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of where we're up to. So this episode, you're going to see all of this unfold one way or another. I'm going to have to probably, as I say, the plan is it's Saturday now, I'll sit here till for tomorrow, and then Monday crack of dawn is when the wind's meant to be okay, probably about 5 o'clock-ish in the morning. So I will aim to sort of get up at first light and get myself ready, and if the wind's looking good, just gonna have to go for it and try and sail out of here and sail down to Port Bannatyne. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of this wetsuit. It's got a bit overcast now, I'm starting to get a bit chilly, so I'm gonna do that and then just I guess chill out for a bit. So it's the next day, it's Sunday. The weather forecast for tomorrow has of course changed, and the wind is now not going to be in my favour. Tuesday morning is now looking in my favour, but I just think that I'm in this stupid weather forecasting place now where they're going to just keep changing the wind a day out. So I've got a quandary now. I'm torn between just kind of going for it and hoping, which, you know, doesn't sit that well with me, but yeah, like I say, if I sit here and wait till Tuesday, and then, you know, tomorrow afternoon they change the wind for Tuesday, and you know, eventually I could hit some bad weather, which I'm not in a good place for hitting some bad weather. So other option is I have another go at trying to fix it. I made some progress, you know, and it's theoretically doable, but yeah, I'm struggling when I go under the water. I'm generally confident under the water, but I'm just not confident in general at the moment, for various things that have been going on, and I just think I'm going to mess it up if I do it. But it's super still today, so I think I'm going to suit up and just have another go. I may abandon it again, but I'm gonna have a go. I'm not gonna record anything. I just can't focus on that whilst trying to do this. You know, I've got footage. You know, you'll have seen some footage of how I'm trying to do it, so that's fine. But yeah, if I'm gonna do it, I need to be as focused as I can be, and just setting up the camera, it's just, I don't need it. So yeah, so I'm gonna suit up, I'm gonna go back in and try and have a go at it and just take it super slow. Okay, so we've made progress, I guess. I've managed to get the props off. The way that was done is to undo these two Allen keys which go into the end of the prop cone, whatever you call it, and then I had to knock these pins out which go through there and hold these in place. And now I have access to the main nut, so hopefully, I think it's 24, I'm not sure though, I can get this on with my ratchet and tighten it up a bit. I've then obviously got to do it in reverse and put it back together, which I gotta be honest, I'm not feeling great about what I'm doing here. I think putting it back together might be difficult, but I'm committed now. I got no prop now, so I got to do it somehow. Yeah, it's bloody freezing. Okay, I think that's the right side. Let's give you another quick look, so I'm not going to be silly when I do this, it's too difficult. Yeah, sorry, I'd like to get you some great footage, but it's just not my priority, I'm sorry. I just lost the socket off my fucking thing. I just lost the socket because I can't do it. I don't have another socket. No. It's fallen off. Okay, so I'm done. Ultimately I failed. I didn't fail as bad as I could have failed, which is I guess a positive. I didn't lose anything. I was able to put it back together, put the pot blades back on. As you might have seen, I don't know if I'm going to include it or not, but I took down a 24mm socket and I lost it. I put it into the ring, I tried to turn it, and I guess when I pulled it out, it must have slipped off or something. I don't know. It wasn't in the bucket that I'd put underneath it, so I guess it's just gone. Now, fortunately, it's actually a 22mm that I need, not a 24. So I taped it on this time, make sure I wouldn't lose it. I went down there, but I could not get it to budge. Couldn't get the nut to tighten. I could have, there's like a retaining nut, Allen bolt thing in the middle, which I could have maybe undone, but I couldn't do it. I guess positive is it's jammed solid, that nut, so hopefully it's jammed against the locking nut. There's like I say, there's the big nut that holds the prop on, and there's like an Allen bolt in the middle, which is kind of meant to like retain it, I guess. So if I couldn't move it with as much force as I could muster, maybe that's a good sign that it's not going to come off in like 10 minutes. But yeah, I managed to get it back together. Like I say, I got the prop blades back in, I got the pins in, I got the Allen bolts that hold the pins back in, you know, as tight as I could get them. I didn't drop anything, but that's all I could do. That was very, very difficult. I've been at it for, I don't know, probably 3 hours maybe. I've been under the water 100 times probably. It's freezing. I'm freezing cold now. I almost drowned once, which is, it's not too bad. It was my own stupidity. Had I been found in a few days tied to the bottom of the boat drowned, it would have been my stupidity and no one would have ever known, because I was tying, I had a belt with a clip, so I had lines on everything, and so I tied a bit of line to the prop blade to make sure that, you know, if it slipped out my hand it wouldn't disappear straight away. But obviously I had to go down and then put the prop blade on and pin it, and then it's tied to me. So I thought, well, I've got my knife, so I'll, you know, as soon as it's on, I'll just pull my knife and slice it, and slice the string and everything. So I go down, I get it in, the pin goes in quite nicely. I go to reach for my knife, and I've left my knife on the fucking boat. Excuse my French. Yeah, completely stupid, and I'm on like a line that's a foot long and I can't get to the surface. Unfortunately I sort of stayed calm enough, and I was a bit fiddly, but I was able to unclip myself. But yeah, like I could have bloody drowned myself tied to a bit of 3mm string. I probably could have snapped myself out of it if I needed to, but yeah, scary. So anyway, it's back together. I haven't improved it, but I haven't made it worse. So and at the end of the day, I've done all I can do now. Like, I've had a couple of attempts at this and I've kind of chickened out each time, but I've gone as far as I can go with it now, and now I'm just gonna have to pray. I think I'm gonna try and go for it tomorrow. Good morning. It's about 6:30 in the morning right now. Been up for about an hour. Well, say I've been up for about an hour. I've been up on and off since about 4, and I didn't get to sleep till probably gone 2, so feeling a bit rough, but I'm thinking we're gonna have to go for this. There's meant to be wind in my favour. As you can probably see right now, at least where I am, there's certainly not a lot of wind, but what wind there is coming from the sort of land side, which is kind of the side I want it to be coming from. So I don't think I'm going to be able to sail out of here. When I was looking at the forecast yesterday, I kind of had dreams of being able to sort of sail out of here, but I don't think that's going to happen, so we are going to have to use the motor. So I've got everything kind of sorted. Ironically, the wind's picking up as I talk right now, but it's picking up in the wrong direction. But anyway, yeah, I've got everything sort of tidied away. I've got all my electricals in a dry bag just in case. Not being pessimistic or anything. Got the autopilot set up. I'm going to leave the anchor. I'm going to pull up the anchor and put it on deck. I'm going to leave starting the engine till the last second. Well, I'll have to start it a minute or so before, just let it warm up slightly, but yeah, we've got to go over there. I don't blur the camera too much. We've got to go over there, down that way, about 8 miles into Port Bannatyne, tie up, go and have a nice coffee. Let's hope it goes like that. Well, it's been a good start for the battery was flat for a second. Okay, on the way, fingers crossed. First challenge, get through the burnt islands. It's the most dangerous bit. Well, it's all pretty dangerous, but I failed. If Pop fails there, I'm in big doo-doo. Through it now. Wind is coming over a bit through here. I might try and put the sail out, grab myself a little bit more, just hang on for another 5 minutes, just so I'm really clear of these islands. You can see how close we are. Okay, we are getting quite a bit of wind. It's kind of on our nose, but might be able to do something with it. I'm just paralyzed with fear right now, just praying. Come on, another marker out in the distance. I don't know if you can see it. Gonna get around that and the ferry, but I might try and put this on the autopilot and get a bit of head sail out. If we get another knot out of the head sail, might be able to once I turn a little bit for this boy. There's the channel behind us. Yeah, the wind's on our side, to be fair, where it gets a bit of a quandary. Do I try and sail and leave the engine? Yeah, we're going to try and get this sail out. Half knot speed. talking about so much stuff, got my life jacket on. It's a worrying thought of someone else I've forgotten. Okay, we're getting in on to 6 knots now. Yeah, I think we definitely got the engine. Okay, we slowed back down. We're doing 3.5 knots now as opposed to almost 6, but the engine's not running, so in theory there's a lot less chance the pop's going to fall off. So yeah, let's just keep going on this tack for a bit, and we can do this for an hour. We'll be turning into the bay. Still going. On sail now. About 3.5 to 4.5 knots, which is pretty good. Sometimes getting about almost to 5. Carrying a decent line. I'm having to go quite close to the wind to make sure I get around the headland at the bottom here, but so far so good. Hovering around an hour to go depending on the speed, but 4.2 miles. We're getting a bit of a lead on. Some goes right here, should be pretty upset with this lead. Okay, so we have made it. We are tied up to a mooring at Port Bannatyne and we're safe. Yeah, it went okay in the end. Was able to sail like 2/3 of the distance, but only about 1/3 of the time. Basically, once I got down to the point, it was the wind just started to die, and was kind of right in my nose, so I was sort of tacking back and forth, as hopefully you'll have seen, and I was sort of making a bit of progress. Managed to get around the headland, sort of over there where the big shipyard is, but then the wind just completely died, and you can probably tell right now it's an absolute mill pond. So had I had another 20 minutes of wind, I could have probably sailed right here, but put the motor on, it worked. Didn't hear anything that sounded like a prop falling off, but you know, you never know. And I was able to just beeline straight in and pick up this mooring, and the boatyard is sending someone out in a rib, apparently. I'm not sure if they're going to tow me in now or what the plan is, but yeah, made it safe. Feeling a bit rough, if I'm honest. I think I had about 2 hours sleep last night, maybe, on and off. Surviving on coffee and biscuits right now, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but could be better. So yeah, I think I'm going to actually leave this episode here because it's probably going to end up being quite a long one. Next episode hopefully will be sort of getting hauled out and getting things fixed and getting the prop fitted by someone who's not an idiot, i.e. someone who's not me, and can do a competent job, but we'll have to see what they say when they look at it. Yeah, it's been a rough few days, to be honest. I mean, this probably, you might have seen 20-30 minutes of this, but I've been in this place for
3.5 days now, I guess, something like that. And yeah, pretty exhausted and stressed out. So yeah, so glad to be here, glad to be safe. Got to get the prop shop swapped or get the prop sorted, and then I got to get to work on building a bit more confidence so that I can head on and hopefully continue with this adventure, because yeah, feeling pretty low confidence wise at the moment. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by. Feel free to comment how I'm an idiot and how you would have done things better so this wouldn't happen. Yeah, and subscribe and like and all that. Maybe YouTube will throw us a few shekels to offset some of the cost of all this. They won't, but you know, we can dream. But yeah, but most of all, guys, you know, please check back for the next episode and see how this exciting adventure continues.